How's it going, everybody? Andrew back here with another point. So like I said in my last video, I'm changing the organization pattern of how I'm doing everything. I'm not going to have my 4 categories and try to touch on the different points on them. Instead, I'm going to go day by day and try to explain the thoughts that I had on that day, because I don't we think about certain things, all right? And a lot of the things that we think about, they're connected in certain ways, because there's certain events that happen that day that spark certain things. Say a YouTube video blows up, or somebody drops a super cool meme, or a new artist, like, for example, anybody who watches YouTube has probably seen that rapper guy that's doing ads. He did a ad for like Hello Kitty, and after he did the ad for Hello Kitty, he was like a super fire rapper, and he managed to create a song about this kitty litter product. And so because he was able to do that, he's, getting to do other advertisements now. And I mean, granted, some of you haven't seen that. Just wait till you do, because it's freaking awesome. It's hilarious, and it's almost mind-blowing how he does it. But, just little things like that they stick out so much that every single one of us are like, wow, that's, interesting. And when we find things to be interesting, it sparks a thought in our mind. And so if I go day by day, then it'll probably be a lot easier for people to relate with what I'm saying than if I just, have my 4 topics, my 4 categories. So like I said in my last video, what I did today particularly was, for the 1000th time, run into a stop sign that says, "This world isn't made for you." There's no platform that exists. There's no people in this whole world, and there's no systematic order set up for you to do the things you want, to express how you feel about this world, because there's not a lot of people out there that care. And on top of that, because there's so few people that care, why would they possibly have an app or a social media or a platform of any kind that helps people like me express our point? And although granted, yes, YouTube, social media, it's a way to express a point, you have to follow certain guidelines, because at the end of the day, it's about nothing but making money. And my channel has nothing whatsoever to do with making money. And because that's the case, for some reason, I mean, I don't know why, but just because of that, it's never going to actually flow well. I'm not ever going to be able to just be like, all right, let's go get some cool thumbnails, let's go buy a new computer, let's get a nice camera and all that stuff so that I can get viewers. It's never going to be like that, because I never cared about the viewers. All I care about is the viewers, but I don't care about the views. There's a difference. And I don't care about the likes, and I don't care about the subscribers. And because I don't care about any of those things, YouTube doesn't help me. Alright? But instead of, for the 1000th time, just giving up, succumbing, and saying, screw it, maybe this isn't the way, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. What I'm going to do instead is, just be the most authentic version of myself I can. I know I have something to share. I know a lot of people feel the same way. And so, even if it takes a whole year for somebody to recognize that I do have something important, something life-changing here, then at least eventually it's going to catch on, and eventually it's going to make something happen, alright? And so, I already said that in the last video, that, just because the system isn't made for you, that doesn't mean you need to quit, and you need to, go a different way, because we're all smart enough to know what we want to do. We all have something to offer this world, something we want to explain, something we want to express, and way too many of us just decide it's too hard, so we go get a job, and we just go to college, and we just get a scholarship, and we just go down a career path. But that's not my way, and I would like to encourage you to not do that either, because you do actually have the value in the inner worth, in the importance, and you do have something to offer this world, and you do have something we all want to hear. So despite the fact that YouTube, Facebook, all kinds of things, that the law won't let you go out on the street and just, yell at the top of your lungs about things without telling you you're causing a disturbance, just because there's all kinds of things that are set in place to keep people like us from expressing what we're saying. And I'm not saying it's particularly set in place to keep us from expressing how we feel. I'm just saying that coincidentally it's very difficult to do. So don't let that hold you back. You do have something to offer. Don't ever forget it, and keep trying until people get the message, because once they get the message, then they'll become a part of whatever you're doing. And when they become a part of whatever you're doing, then you become a unstoppable force that outgrows YouTube, outgrows Facebook, and outgrows the law. And once you do that, then you're home free, and you can start achieving all those dreams that you've been looking to achieve. And it's not gonna happen. I mean, it'll happen eventually through a career field, and it'll happen eventually through whichever job you want, but it's not gonna happen as quickly. It's not gonna happen the way you want it to happen. And so I already touched on that in the last video, but that's the most important part of my day. And the last video was kind of just an explanation for how I'm changing over from the one style into this new style of posting every day, instead of trying to do 4 different videos on 4 different topics. And so kind of along the same guideline, what I've been going through for the past couple weeks is that I'm at a point where there's a lot of negative influences I've noticed are in my life, and I've spent a very long time trying to just be there for those people, trying to help them through their struggles. It's almost like, I'm karma's worst enemy, because karma's trying to hit these people with all kinds of, messed up lives. They're trying to hit them with punishments and stuff like that. And I'm just like, hey bro, I know that the world thinks you're bad, but I got your back. We're gonna pull through this together. And I did that for so long that I always went down with those people that I was trying to help. And so I have finally decided that I'm going to make a switch and stop helping those people. And not only am I going to stop helping those people, but I'm going to do anything I can to support them, anything I can to pick them up without being around them. Because, if you give your energy away to those people, that's exactly what you're doing. You're giving away your life. You're giving a piece of yourself away to those people. And the thing is, unfortunately, 90% of them are going to waste it. You can hope and dream that one day the seed you planted will sprout, but it only takes 10 minutes to put that seed in there, and that doesn't cost you any energy. If anything, it's going to lift you up, because it's going to make you feel like you have a seed planted that could grow, and then in the future, if you see it grow, it's going to be fantastic. And so, I basically decided, instead of dedicating my whole life to helping out the people that karma's trying to hurt, instead, I'm going to focus on myself and, try and create a life that is what I want to live. And so, from my point of view, that's greedy, to have to do that in order to just survive in this world. And so that's kind of, where trying to break the system stops for me. That's where even though the system's been there my whole life, trying to, say, nah, you don't belong, you don't belong, you don't belong, you know, that's where I've finally conformed to the system and said, all right, you're right. I need to focus on myself before I can help out those people. And maybe once I have a whole, career going for myself, then I'll be able to help all of these people out. But as far as it goes right now, they're just pulling me down. And so I've finally said enough is enough, and I've decided that I'm going to, focus on my physical stability, because as far as my mental stability, as far as my knowledge pool, like I said, that's been subconsciously the main focus of everything that I've done my whole life. I was never lacking on intelligence per se. I was never lacking on creativity. But what I was lacking on was physical pleasures, physical fulfillment, and money, because I always gave all three of those things away to these super negative ass people. And I hate to say it, because they're not bad people, they just don't know how to manage their energy, and they don't know how to manage their money, and they don't really care to make a big difference, a big change, I should say. So it's like all of that energy was lost. And so I'm pretty much finally at a point where I've made the change to create a better life for myself. And so that's pretty much the second part of my day, even though that kind of goes into the past 2 weeks. But being the first video of this new series, I guess, it's really just what the channel is at this point. That's all it's going to be from here on out, is the point that I want to make, and hopefully that'll keep going. Hopefully I'll have the determination and dedication to keep it going. So yeah, but yeah, so I don't know, just as far as leaving behind negative people in my life, it's always been something that I wanted to not do. It's always been something that I was like, nah, I'm not going to give up on him. I'm not going to give up on him. I'm not going to give up on him. And I've seen way too many people, good people, fall into the same trap. And there's a difference between good people who do bad things and just bad people who do bad things. Because bad people who do bad things don't really care to change. But granted, people like me believe that they can. And so that's where the difference is, in the belief factor, in the belief that they can change. Because if you believe that they change, then you believe that you can change. And those people, they deserve better. They don't need to be surrounded by all these negative people. And that's just my opinion. But I feel like a lot of the world would agree with me, and the other people who are stuck in a situation like mine may be able to seriously change their life around if they listen. But yeah, on the other hand of things, there's always been a system in place that for some reason makes it really, really difficult for people like us to help those people. There's almost no way in hell we can do it. So, that's been kind of my main strife. That's been my main goal, is to help those people out. And so I'm not totally abandoning them and just saying, all right, I'm going to head that way. Nah, it's kind of like, I'm going that way, but I'm looking back, and I'm looking back, and I'm checking, and I'm making sure it's all good, because I gotta, never forget who I am, alright? And so, that's why I'm changing this channel a little bit, because I noticed, again, like I said in the last video, that it's only helping those people who have already decided to go along their ascension route. And so, that's not what this channel is about. It's not about helping the people who are ascended. It's about helping the people who have no clue what an ascension process is. And so, yeah, I'm gonna basically start making this channel, yeah, that's what I was saying, just that even though YouTube as a whole, the code or the algorithm is what it's called, doesn't necessarily fit, anyone who has over 1 million viewers and subscribers, they're going to say that my channel doesn't work, that you need good quality, and that you need to be super excited and super over happy, and you need to have all kinds of super cool things, and you need to have fade ins and fade outs and wavy cool things so that the channel actually gets views and stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And so most of them would say that a channel like this one won't work, but I'm here to be not only the proof that it does work, but hopefully I'll be able to encourage you to face the system the same way. And also just remember, at the same time as heading upwards, leaving negative energies behind, negative people, negative life situations, and heading towards self-progression, at the end of the day, you can never forget about them, or you're just as bad as, the rest of the world. And I don't mean to say the rest of the world is bad, because in general, they're all really good people, but they just have fallen into the same trap where they say it's so difficult to do what I'm trying to do. It doesn't work. It's so hard. And they've listened to other people's opinion, and so they gave up somewhere along the line. And so although they're good people, they never quite fulfilled their dreams. And the only people who have are, millionaires and artists, all right? But, this is going to be the proof that you don't need to do it the mainstream flashy way, that you can actually do whatever you want, even if it doesn't fit with the system, and just so long as you have something to say, just so long as you have something to offer. And I'd like to believe that we all do, but I guess you have to prove it. You have to find it within yourself before you're able to share it. And I spent the first 19 years of my life finding that. So I've hit a point in which I cannot, for the life of me, just sit back and watch. I have to get out there and do something. And I'm not the kind of person who wants to just go live my life on a cruise ship and run from stage to stage. So instead, I'm gonna sit, chill in my apartment, and hopefully be able to make a stable income and provide a healthy life for myself, instead of, like I've been doing, giving it away to all of these freeloaders that are still good people in my opinion. But so yeah, that's pretty much what I went through today, the thought processes that went through my head, the choices that I've made, and how I'm going to use them to lift me up and not hold me down, but instead lift me up. And if you did actually check out my first 10-11 videos, then this is proof. Alright, it's like, yeah, you can transmute energy. You can take a negative situation and make it positive. Just because your thought process says, it's not going to work, you can look at that process from a bird's eye view and say, why do I say it's not going to work? Do I not believe in myself? Do I think that it's not going to work because other people have told me it's not going to work? Yeah, well, I'm going to start believing in myself and forget what everybody says. Boom. We here, we at it, and we're going to be going for hopefully 20 years. So, hopefully you'll take my advice, and, yeah, that's pretty much it. Got a lot more videos coming, hopefully a couple thousand of them, but, I guess that depends if I'm able to stay determined. Alrighty, y'all. Peace out. Have a good night.